The Conti ACE is a precision instrument. It has multiple boilers for temperature stability and Conti's industry-leading soft infusion. As with all precision instruments, it requires some extra setup and calibration. Following the instructions in the manual provided, install the espresso machine, hook up the water and power supply, and ensure that the waste is connected and draining. Using the rocker switch under the right side panel, turn on the machine. Once your ACE is turned on, you will hear an internal pump start to fill the machine. If you don't hear a pump activate, please watch the video link on screen. Once the pump finishes filling the boilers, we need to run the first install program. During this process, the machine will run a series of actions to ensure your coffee network is fully saturated and functional. To do this, we need to enter Eco mode by pressing and holding button 3, then pressing button 2. You can now access the technical menu by pressing and holding button 3 for around 5 seconds until you see TST on the screen. Use button 1 to scroll through the menu until you see the letters 1ST. Select this option using button 3, then press button 2 and the screen will scroll from off to on, and then press button 3 again to activate the first install program. Water will disperse from the group as part of the cycle. This is why it's important to ensure that your waste is connected properly and draining. Once the first install is complete, your espresso machine will revert back to Eco mode. Press button 2 to exit Eco mode and allow your machine to heat to the ideal temperature. You will know your machine is at the ideal temperature when the lights stop flashing in sequence and settle as 3 solid lights on the buttons. Now your machine is fully heated, it is time to run the circuit purge program. The circuit purge program is designed to evacuate all the air from the coffee network, ensuring pressure stability, which is key to one of the unique functions of this machine. Following the same process as the first install, enter Eco mode. Access the technical menu, and then use button 1 to scroll across until you see PUR in the menu. Use button 3 to select, then button 2 to scroll from off to on, and then press button 3 again to activate the program. This will take a few minutes to complete. If your workspace is quiet, you will hear the water being evacuated down the waste, and you will start to hear air escaping through the purge valve. Once empty, the machine will then refill the coffee network, and once complete, it will revert back to Eco mode. It's advised to run the circuit purge at least 2 times. If you have more than a couple of short bursts of air escape, continue to repeat until you don't hear any more air escaping. It's important to do a circuit purge every time you move the machine and disconnect the water supply, as it gives an opportunity for air to re-enter the coffee network. Remember, it's important to allow your machine to heat to the ideal temperature between circuit purge cycles, as we need the heating pressure to make sure the program runs efficiently. Press button 2 to exit Eco mode and your machine will begin to heat to the ideal temperature again. Your ACE comes fitted with volumetric dosing. This is a widely used system that measures the volume of water supplied to the group head. This is used to deliver consistency with your coffee shots. To program a dose, ensure your machine is at full temperature. Then press and hold button 3 until you see DOS on the screen. Place a cup onto a set of scales and tare to 0. Place both on the drip tray below the group head. Dose and prepare a portafilter with your ideal espresso recipe. Lock the portafilter into the group head and press the button that you'd like to program. As you reach your ideal shot weight, press the button you're programming again to stop the shot. Then press button 3 to exit dose programming and save your new dose. Soft Infusion is an industry-leading program specific to Conti multi-boiler machines. It is designed to use the residual pressure of the coffee brewing network to pre-infuse the coffee bed at low pressures like a lever machine. To change soft infusion times, you will need to access the technical menu again. Enter Eco Mode by pressing and holding button 3, then press button 2. Then holding button 3 for around 5 seconds to access the technical menu. Using button 2 this time, we can scroll across until we see P1, P2 or P3. The P stands for pre-infusion on either buttons 1, 2 or 3. Scroll to your desired button, select the button using button 3, and then you can increase your pre-infusion time using button 2 or decrease your pre-infusion time using button 1. Once you're satisfied with your soft infusion time, you can save it using button 3. Scroll through the technical menu until you see ESC. Select ESC using button 3 and the machine will escape into Eco Mode, then exit Eco Mode by using button 2. The ACE has a flush key setting. This is designed to rinse coffee and oil residue from the shower screen at the highest convenience to the barista. When active, button 1 will give a 1-second flush of hot water to rinse the shower screen. To activate this, enter Eco Mode, access the technical menu, scroll across to F07. F07 is the flush key setting. Press button 3 to select, and then use button 2 to scroll from off to on, and then press button 3 to save the setting. Now the setting is saved, we can use button 2 to scroll through the technical menu until we see ESC. Select the escape option using button 3, and then exit Eco Mode pressing button 2. Finally, as part of your setup, you can adjust the temperature of the coffee boiler and group head. Changing the temperature of your coffee brewing water can aid in increasing extraction and can help find specific flavours within your espresso recipe. From the factory, your coffee boiler is set at 90 degrees Celsius and your group head temperature at 85 degrees Celsius. We can run the group head at around 5 degrees below the coffee boiler, as this doesn't impact the brewing temperature and can aid in preserving your group seals. To change the temperature, first enter Eco Mode. Then access the technical menu. You will see TST on the screen. Use button 2 to scroll across to TCB. Select this using button 3. You can then increase the temperature using button 2 and decrease the temperature using button 1. This is altered in 0.5 degree intervals. Once you're satisfied with the new temperature, use button 3 to save that setting, and then you can use button 2 to scroll across to TCG. This is your temperature of coffee group. Using the same method as your coffee boiler temperature, you can adjust this. Once you've saved that using button 3, scroll using button 1 until you see the ESC option again. Press button 3 to return to Eco Mode, then press button 2 to exit Eco Mode. And that's it, your ACE is set up.